Good day, my wonderful and amiable listeners. I bring to you another news. Baba Buhari. People, especially those from the southwest, could have been trekking from Lagos to Ibadan. If not for our intervention, there was no road, President Buhari said February 22, 2022. I had to rub my eyes several times after reading this statement on Çãßåls television headline on February 22, 2022 to be sure that it was Baba Buhari, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who actually uttered that absolute falsehood. I had to believe it was indeed Buhari making the statement so totally untrue as to embarrass me as a citizen of the country. Granted, you cannot adopt politics as a profession and remain honest. But certainly there must be some lies that are too unbelievable that no politician, let alone a president, should not tell. I don't care who that person is, but anybody who says there was no road between Lagos and Ibadan before 2015 is lying. I have lived in Lagos and Ibadan since 1984, and there was never any time I trekked from one place to another. Nobody, no matter how highly placed, especially someone who spent all those years in rural Daura, can tell me that I drove on grass and mud all those years. In fact, the people of the southwest were already driving on paved road when Daura was still a wilderness. We didn't need anyone there to build road for us, lying against precedents. That statement as it stands is actually a defamation of people of Edo State, military and civilian, and rather than diminishing his predecessors. It was actually a poor reflection on Buhari. To be candid, year after I will find it difficult to believe anything Buhari says. For over 30 years I was on that road at least twice a week. On 4 occasions, I actually went up and down the road twice one day. I can claim to be an authority on condition of the road for decades. Fish rots from my head. Until now, I have been wondering why government spokesmen find it so easy to dissemble on factual matters. For example, the president is hailed an athlete. This government has delivered 200 times power than we inherited, and so on, without any word of caution from above or embarrassment on their part. Now I know they all work for a boss who actually approves of such conduct. One who does not allow fact to get in the way of fiction, if all falsehood will serve its purpose. This one, which will not be the last, joins a growing list of such statements made by Buhari, which, after being fact-checked, turned out not to be so. A few Nigerians with retentive memories would recall the declaration last year that the federal government had the list of 10 million people taken out of poverty. A few days after, the director in charge of documenting the list of recipients of 5,000 per month confessed that he was just embarking on a developing list. Furthermore, a little understanding of arithmetic should have shown our president that 5,000 per person or 167 naira per day will never lift anybody out of extreme poverty. In reality, it actually encourages people to wallow in poverty while pretending to assist them. But poverty is not my reason for writing today. My objectives are two. First is to advise President Buhari to stop uttering statements like one under reference. Second is to set records straight briefly. The brief history of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I will be 78 in a few months. I took my first trip from Lagos to Ibadan in 1956 at the age of 12. There were 2 trucks, a road leading from Lagos to Ibadan. One went through Ikorodu, Shagam, Iperu, Alomaja, and ended in the present ring road at Ibadan. Before public transporters went to Ogunpa Motor Park, the second passed through Mushin, Oshodi, Agege, Sango-Ota, Ifo, Papalanto, Abeokuta, and proceeded to Ibadan to burst out at Akpata and continue to Mokola and University of Ibadan. They were both single-lane roads, but third. The first expressway in Nigeria was planned and executed by the Gowon administration with Alhaji Femi Okuno as Federal Commissioner of Works. The 120-kilometer dual carriage, which included 3 toll gates, Ikeja, Ogeri, and Ibadan, was the first of its kind in Nigeria. Buhari was actually in government when the road was opened for use. Could it be old age which made him forget that even if Southwest people were trekking before the expressways was opened in 1975, we certainly stopped trekking after that. 10% of the toll collection was meant for continuous repair and maintenance of the road. Unfortunately, Gowon's successor, including Buhari 1984 to 1985, failed to maintain the road. Furthermore, as easy as the mid-1980s, it was clear that the road was carrying a heavier load than that for which it was designed for. It needed to be totally rebuilt. The road gradually fell apart and a series of death traps developed, but there was still a road. The late President Yar'Adua started the current effort to upgrade the road in 2009. Jonathan continued, and close to 50% was already completed by 2015. So it is absurd for any president coming into the office at 2015 to claim credit for the work done before him. It is absolutely dishonest to say there was no road. Buhari ignorant of Southwest infrastructure problem. Afenifere. By May this year, the Buhari administration would have spent 7 years without completing a project half finished by his predecessor. Instead of admitting failure, the president is attempting to rewrite the history of the Southwest. I totally disagree with Afenifere. I will even go further. You can't bully reality. As further demonstration of his ignorance, Buhari mentioned the Lagos-Ibadan rail service. Apart from the joyride he was given, Buhari knows nothing more about the rail service. I know more because I went on the train with my eyes wide open and took pictures. Unless they increased the trips by late last year, 1 trip a day was available to and free. The maximum number of passengers could not exceed 4,000 people. Yet, over 1 million people are on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway every day. Joke of the month: Russia-Ukraine war. Federal government evacuates Nigeria from Ukraine. Onyema. Mr. Geoffrey Onyema is Nigeria Foreign Affairs Minister. When several serious governments were evacuating their citizens, Nigeria federal government did nothing. Now they promise to evacuate Nigerians after all airports are closed. Most Nigerians are fled and are all scattered. Another news: while military is reluctant to wipe out bandits, El-Rufai said. The Kaduna State governor went on disclosed to reporters that preliminary investigation implicated some police and military personnel. So we are sending bandits to wipe out their friends. Another news: FAAC shares 574.668 billion naira among federal government states. I have said it repeatedly. Nigeria most states will totally bankrupt by the time Buhari leaves the office in 2023. The amount said last month represents the second time in the third tiers of government would share more than 600 billion naira in a month. The last was under Buhari 2016. The one after was 2010 under Buhari President Yar'Adua. By December this year, public servants in most cases will be in revolt. You will pay more for the fuel. Take it from me, you will pay more for fuel than you expect. Buhari, who shifted subsidy removal 18 months, is not an economist and is surrounded by people who lack courage to tell him the truth. With crude oil now over $120 per barrel, Nigeria will be spending more than a crude oil revenue to pay for refined product. Then we will discover that nobody wants to lend us money. Exchange rates will skyrocket.